Welcome everybody to episode 19 of Dane Interviews. Today is a special one since I am joined by a legendary guest, drummer for Last in Line, the DIO band, Heaven and Hell, Black Sabbath. Did some dates with, toured with Rick Derringer for a little bit. I am joined today by Vinny Appice. He joins us today to mainly talk about the new Last in Line record, Jericho, which is out on March 31st. I encourage everyone to go down in the description and pick yourself up a copy, pre-order it on Amazon now. It's on CD, vinyl. Get physical formats, people. Come on. Physical formats are the best. But yeah, he joins us to talk about the record and a little bit about the DIO band itself and Ronnie James Dio. So I hope you enjoy our conversation, but before that, let's hear a little word from SeatGeek. Hey, let me tell you about SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the web's largest event ticketing search engine. Whether you're looking for concert tickets, NBA tickets, NHL tickets, Major League Baseball tickets, or NFL tickets, it's all right here. And you can get some really good deals on SeatGeek because on the event mapping, the green dots, you know you're getting a good deal there. But if it's a red dot, that's a terrible deal. Don't buy that one. If you want to go to that concert or sporting event, be sure to go to SeatGeek to get $20 off your first order. Their site is linked in my description, and again, use code BIGBeautifulDivs for $20 off your first order. Big thank you to SeatGeek. Now, without further ado, let's get to my interview with Vinny Appice. Here we are with Mr. Vinny Appice. How are you doing today, Vinny?
I'm doing good.
It's
Where are
great to
you at? What part of the...
I'm in Pennsylvania, right near Philly.
I'm in California, where it's been raining and never-ending rain for the
Yeah,
past weeks.
I've heard. It's like over in California
Unreal.
when you get rain, it's like the end of the world over
I
there.
mean, it's raining. Like today, it wasn't supposed to rain. It's raining, and for years it's been so dry here. Bone dry, and now since the beginning of the year, we're just getting bombarded. It's amazing. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know where it
is. You
comes
guys
from.
definitely need rain. You're doing some shows over in California, Las Vegas area, right?
Yeah, we're
In a
just
few
in
days.
Vegas, and on April 1st, we play at the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas, and that's an album release party for the new album Jericho that is being released on March 31st. And then we got a couple of Midwestern dates, and that's it for this month because we had sort of a problem and with the bookings. And then we go out again in September. We got a whole bunch of shows in September. So that'll be a busy time for us. In between, Viv goes out with Def Leppard, so
Yeah.
we can't play really without him.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I've only seen Last in Line once at M3, I think it was. Yeah. And
Oh, okay.
it was awesome. So I've greatly looking forward to seeing you again whenever an opportunity
Yeah,
arises.
it's probably September, so keep your eyes peeled. See what
Yeah, I'll
happens.
have to mark that on my calendar. Um,
Yeah.
so I wanted to bring this up before we get into all the album stuff. Um, your last name, Appice. You pronounce it Appice, but your brother
No, no,
pronounces
no,
it
no, no. I'm
Appice. Sorry, Appice. Sorry,
Right.
you pronounce it Appice. Your brother pronounces it Appice. So,
Right.
where did that like argument almost? It's not really an argument, but
Well, no, it's not
where did that
confusion.
split come from?
Well, Carmine used to say Appice, and then In 1976, he's playing with Rod Stewart. And Rod Stewart was confused as to how to pronounce the name as well, because people were saying it all different ways. So Rod told Carmine, well, asked him, well, how do you want me to pronounce your name? And Carmine said, what do you hear? And he said, Appice. Okay, I'm Carmine Appice. And then I heard that, and like in 1976, I was playing with Rick Derringer. I said, I don't know, a piece. It sounds like a piece of pizza or something. So I'm staying with what my father said is Appice,
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's been this question of our lifetime. How do you pronounce your last name? And our other brother, my other brother, the older brother, Frank, he doesn't play. He lives around the corner from me here in California. And he says a peach. That's the Italian way. A peach, a peachy.
Appice,
So there's
yeah.
three different pronunciations of this name.
Oh, that's funny.
Confusing. And
I
then when I
always
played, Carmine played with Ozzy, and Carmine used to do drum solo in the show, and Ozzy would introduce him, Carmine Appice on the drums. And then years later, I played with Ozzy with Sabbath, because
yeah.
Bill Ward didn't do the tour. And the first night, Ozzy goes, and Vinny Appice on the drums. I went, oh shit. So the next morning in the hotel lobby, I had to tell Ozzy, you know, Carmine says it a piece. I say Appice, Appice. And he said, and I said, yeah. So he remembered the next night, that night, he went, and Vinny, he was nervous. Appice, he wanted to say it correctly.
Yeah, I needed to make sure that I said it
He
correctly
got it.
too, because I always get confused on if you say a piece or Appice.
I know, I know.
Um,
It's
so
crazy.
last so last in line Jericho is out March 31st. Tell me about the name of the album. Where did that come from?
Well, we didn't have a name, and when you don't have a name, it's hard to find a name like for a band, especially these days. Every name is taken. You just got to come up with something crazy. And then it's hard to come up with title of the album. Like we had Last in Line, Heavy Crown, our singer Andrew named that, and then Last in Line 2. And then Phil suggested this name, and we didn't have any other names, and we thought, well, it's kind of a deep meaning to with the name Jericho. So, all right, we'll go with Jericho, because we needed to have a name like wasted a lot of time. So that's how the name became Jericho.
Um, how did uh how did you guys come together originally? Because of course it is the original Dio band, and when Jimmy
Yeah.
Bain was with us, it was even more so of the original Dio band.
Well, the way
So
the
how
way
did you originally get together?
it started,
10
like
years ago, I think.
calling me up, 2015 was it? He said, "Hey, Jimmy's in town. I'm in town, meaning Viv. You want to get together and jam? It'd be fun, play some of the old stuff." And I said, "Yeah." So we got together at a rehearsal place, the three of us, Jimmy Bain and Viv and I, and we started playing all the old songs and all the songs we knew, and it was a lot of fun. But we didn't have vocals, we just played it instrumentally. And then
Yeah.
Viv wanted to do it again. Thought that was a great idea, so I called Andy Freeman, who was in town. I said, "Can you come down and sing for us? We're just jamming some Dio songs, because he knows the songs." Sure, he came down and he sang them, and everybody was blown away. Like, this sounds great. Maybe we should do some gigs or something. So our manager at that time, Steve Strange, uh, put some gigs together. One in California. The rest we went over to Europe and played 5 shows in England and Ireland, I think it was, and people loved it. And then he was able to get us a record deal on Frontier Records, and that turned into 2 albums, and the rest turned into like a touring band as much as we could, uh, with the schedules. And then here we are. So it was all natural, the
Yeah.
way it happened. It wasn't
What?
put down on paper like that kind
Yeah.
of band.
Yeah. What was that decision to make original music? Because if you just wanted to play all the Dio stuff, you easily, obviously, you could. So
Well, because we
what?
got a record deal. We got a record deal.
Say okay, so you got the record deal before you like made that decision to
After we played Dio stuff.
okay.
We were playing all the Dio tunes and all that shit. And then Steve was able to get us a record deal. So, oh, okay, cool. Well, we could write together. We all write together. We all wrote Holy Diver and Last in Line, even though the credits don't say it correctly. So we started writing, and we had enough to record an album, and that's how that came about. Then we started putting those songs in the set, and then Jimmy passed away, unfortunately, and so we had to get another bass player, and we got Phil Susan. So Phil was great because he's from the same era. He's from the same page as us. We know
Yeah.
him from a long time ago too. We all get along, so it worked out good. We're lucky.
Yeah. Your songwriting process for not just Jericho, but all the Last in Line albums. Take me through that a little bit. Is it all collaborative or do you all bring songs into the studio and work them up? Tell me how that works.
Well, I can tell you how all the Last in Line albums, all the Dio albums, and the Sabbath stuff except one that I was involved with, we jammed. We played in a room together. We put things together that we had, and that's the way we worked. We went in the room with Last in Line. Sometimes we were doing a sound check live at a place, and it sounded great. And we got on a riff or some groove. Let's record it, and we recorded a number of things that way. And then sometimes Viv would be playing by himself in the rehearsal room, not in the dressing room. Go, that's really cool. Record it. So we did a lot of that, and then we did a lot of jamming in the room. And that's the way we wrote the songs and put them together, including Holy Diver, Last in Line, all those albums. Yeah. So that's why the songs fit the band so well, you know,
Yeah, because
playing
it's
wise.
natural. Yeah. Um,
Nobody ever came in with a song. Nobody ever came in, hey, I got this song we got to work on, man. This
yeah.
is cool. Never did that.
So
That weird.
that's an interesting way to write. I've never heard anyone anyone else do that before. So do you consider yourself a songwriter or do you just consider yourself a
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not a
know, just
songwriter
a
where I can
jammer?
sit down and play the piano or guitar or something.
Yeah.
But once we start jamming on riffs and stuff, I'm really good at hearing where it could go, or maybe we need another part like this. Um, you know, I hear the chords, I hear the changes, and I make my suggestions. So
Yeah.
I'm part of a songwriting team. I wouldn't say I'm a standalone songwriter.
Yeah.
I don't play another instrument, so.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like you have to be like it sounds like you have to be near your drums, but like do you have to be in your studio ready to write? Like what kind of mindset do you have to be to make a beat in your head?
To make what?
To make like a beat in your head.
Oh, it's way beyond that. Um, it depends. Some of the songs came from I'm just playing a groove on the drums. Not just a simple groove. I usually play some crazy ass stuff, and then maybe Phil will follow me, and then Viv walks in, he starts playing things like that. And I produced a couple of bands in L.A. Where I didn't play anything, but I could hear the changes where they should go. Um, hear a lot of like people doing 4 bar, 4 bar, 4 bar, 4 bar. And let's change that up a little bit. Let's do a bar two here and then do three times at the end. Let's change up and then change the chords. It's just stuff like that. Because I was around, I'm around Ronnie, I'm around Tony Iommi and
Yeah.
Geezer. Pick up a lot of stuff, ideas at how they put the songs together. So
Yeah. Jericho that you're here to promote, there's technically four, I guess, because isn't her the hurricane I don't know how to pronounce this correctly. Is
Allah.
it
I think it's Allah.
Orla or Allah?
Allah, yeah, Allah, Allah.
Um, that was on the EP, but it's also going to be on this record, right?
Yeah, it's on the record as well.
So
Yeah,
technically four singles, but the three singles that aren't on the last EP that you put out.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about them. Tell me the origins and the meaning of the song. Let's start with "Do the Work."
I can't tell you the meaning of any of the songs. I don't hear lyrics.
Yeah,
It's the weirdest thing. I don't listen to lyrics. The only lyrics I could tell you that I know are the Beatles. Some of the Beatles stuff. I can't tell you what Rainbow in the Dark means. I know Ronnie told me a bunch of times,
yeah,
but that was 1983. And I don't hear the lyrics. My job is the foundation, the tempos, chord changes, the whatever, the rhythms. That's what I do. And I don't write the lyrics and I don't know what they mean. So you're gonna have to ask Andy Freeman that question there. So um and then we did the remake of the Beatles' The Day in the Life. That's on the
that's right.
EP.
Yeah.
And two live tracks that were recorded at festivals in Europe. And that's the EP. So that Hurricane Alla is on this record. I got it in front of me. Yeah. And so is The Day in the Life. So everything's on this record.
Oh, really?
There you
Oh,
go.
okay. I didn't see that on the track listing. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, all those songs are on here. And there's great artwork on the LP. The graphics and everything beautiful. They did a great
I
job.
do love that album cover at least. I haven't seen the rest of
Yeah,
the
it's a
graphics, but
weird album cover. At first
yeah,
we didn't like it, but then it grew on us. And went, okay, and then you look at it on the LP, and it's beautiful because it's big. You can see
yeah.
it. So
Are you a vinyl guy? Do you have a record
I
collection?
no, I don't. I don't. I have old albums, actually, a bunch of albums there, old stuff, and I don't actually at this point in my life. I don't listen to that much stuff. I mean, I come across stuff on the internet and things like that, because my ears are so blown out from all these years of playing. So and I'm always busy with doing this. I do sessions here. This is my studio, and so I'm always working. I'm always doing something, and if I come across things on the internet, I'll listen to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
The other singles are Ghost Town and House Party at the End of the World.
yeah, and
What,
also yeah, do the work.
oh
We're
yeah,
doing
yeah, do the
there's a
work.
video for that, and then we're doing uh, Bastard Son. We're doing a video for that when we're in Vegas. So that's going to be the next video release.
Oh,
So
awesome, awesome. It's funny because when did House Party come out? Like last week or so, something like that. Um, it's funny because House Party at the End of the World. I don't know if you're into Mammoth WVH or not. Wolfgang Van Halen's band. He came out
yeah.
with a single yesterday called Another Celebration at the End of the World. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of a pattern here with the end of the world songs recently.
Oh, wow. Maybe the end of the world's coming.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
um, your recording process with Last in Line. I mean, band that I've, every artist that I've talked to, or every artist that anyone has talked to, their recording process is all different. So tell me a little bit about yours recording this album.
Well, what we do it old school style, and we're all in a room together. And when we record these songs, we play them from top to bottom. Um, Everything's recorded that way. We play through the whole song. If we make a mistake or something bum on it, yeah, we'll do it again from the top. And we don't use a click. I'm the click. So there's no click involved, and everything's done live like that. And usually we keep the bass and the drums, and then guitars could be put down better later on,
Yeah.
like later on that day, let's say. And then Viv took it away and did it solo separately at his place. And that's the way we did Holy Diver, Mob Rules, all the big albums. The Humanizer, uh, Last in Line album. So that's kind of the way we did it. We didn't use a click. We we want it to be the way we play. So it might speed up a little bit, might slow down a little bit, but it breathes. Now that's what makes it kind of more organic than playing to a
Yeah.
sterile boom click all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love records that are
They
as
move.
live as can be. Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the new Sammy Hagar record, the new Slash record, newer Slash record. They were all
yeah,
recorded as live as can be. It's just so much better than the
yeah,
the tracked records. Um
yeah.
you
That's
kind
right.
of you kind of answered a question that I was going to ask. Compared to other records you've done, is this the same or different?
No, it's pretty much the same. We just go in a room, we write the stuff together at different times. We share our ideas. We tried a lot of things, tried a lot of crazy things on that record, and then you know, like it's recorded as such, where it's this is the way we did it in the back in the day. And it's probably become retro now. Everybody
Yeah.
recorded with clicks and cuts and pastes on Pro Tools and this and that and this and that. And now they're probably discovering, well, you can do it old school style, no click, and we play the whole song. There's no pasting it together. So, I guess we can call it retro, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. You could. Um, if Ronnie was alive today, do you think he would still be making new music still?
Oh, yeah. Ronnie loved his music. Ronnie loved his fans, and he loved his music. He wanted to rehearse every day if he could. And one time we came off tour and it was nice. It was summer in LA. I'm laying by the pool going, this is nice. Then Ronnie calls and goes, well, next week, let's start rehearsing. I figure we can go in from 12 to 5 and then take a dinner break and then go from 7 to 11. I'm like, oh, fuck. That long? I don't like rehearsing anyway. It's fun, but after a while, it's like, yeah. But we had to write and all that stuff. But we never did that schedule. That was ridiculous. We usually went in at 2 o'clock to 7. This way you got some time in the beginning, you got some time after the rehearsal to do your own stuff, personal stuff. But Ronnie loved music and loved playing. So yeah, he'd definitely be making music.
Yeah. Where did you originally, what was I gonna say there? Originally
Hmm.
meet
What are you
Ronnie?
smoking over
I
there?
don't know. I don't.
What are you
I'm
drinking?
met. Oh, I'm drinking water because of my
Yeah.
allergies. It's terrible.
Hmm.
Where did you originally meet Ronnie?
Uh, I met him in 1980 when Bill Ward left the band. They were on tour for the Heaven and Hell album. This is Black Sabbath. And I got a call. Actually, I got a call from Sharon Osbourne first. And she was putting the band together with Ozzy. And they asked me if I wanted to go to England to meet Ozzy to be in that band. And I was a young kid at the time. I didn't even know where England was. And then I asked my brother Coleman, I said, hey, isn't Ozzy crazy? Because I got this offer. He goes, yeah, he's fucking crazy. So I turned it down. I didn't do it. I said I couldn't do it. So it was an honor to be asked, of course.
Yeah.
And then about a month later, I got a call from Black Sabbath. They said, hey, we're in town. We're looking for a drummer. We heard about you. You want to come meet Tony at the hotel tomorrow night? I went, oh, okay. They were in LA, so it was a lot easier. I went down and met Tony Iommi, and he had one of my albums that I did with a band called Axis, and he liked it. And we got along good, and he invited me down to meet the rest of the guys the next day. So the next day, I go down to rehearsal with my little puny drum set, and I met Ronnie and Geezer Butler and Jeff Nichols, the keyboard player. And so they said, "What do you want to play?" I don't know. I wasn't a big Sabbath fan. I liked Sabbath, but I wasn't a fan where I knew every song.
Yeah.
But I just heard Neon Nights on the radio while I was driving on the freeway. I was driving, and Neon Nights came on. Oh, wow, that's a great song. What a singer. That's that new singer they got, Ronnie James Dio. I wasn't that familiar with Ronnie. I heard Man in the Silver Mountain. That was about it. So I go down and I said, well, why don't we play Neon Nights? Because I knew the song started and there was one breakdown in it and then it continues at that tempo. So I can get through it easy since I didn't know the exact song. So
Yeah.
we played it and that was the first song we ever played. And then how many years later? That was 1980. Uh, that was the last song I ever played with Ronnie.
Oh,
It was like the first song, and the last song.
the
So from
last song.
1980 all the way up to 2009, right?
Yeah.
2009. So that's
Yeah.
24. Was that?
Something
Anyway.
like that. I'm terrible with math, so don't ask me.
So that's when I met Ronnie and we hit it off really well. You know, he's from New York. He's Italian. I'm from New York, but Brooklyn, New York. And I'm Italian. We like the same foods. So it was really cool that we got along so good. And Ronnie was really happy. I got somebody in the band that's could relate together
Yeah.
with each other because Tony and Geezer were tight like brothers. You know, they grew up together. So so that's when I met him, and we've been friends ever since. You know, until he passed. So it's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, it is. I want to ask you real quickly about the Dio documentary. In that you played some cassette tapes that
Yep.
were just jams. Um, are they able to, or are they going to be released sometime so everyone can hear them properly?
Well, I have them. So that depends. You know, I'd have to talk to Wendy if she wants to release the things I have. I have a lot of well, you heard some of them on there. They're rehearsal tapes. They're
Yeah,
rehearsals when we're trying to write the song, and as you could hear that, okay, it starts, then all of a sudden there's a different chord that wasn't on the final product, and you could hear Ronnie testing the waters with vocal lines. Then there's some in the studio, Rainbow in the Dark, where it's slower, tempo's a bit slower, and Ronnie sang it a little different. He wasn't quite there yet, you know, with his vocal
yeah,
line that when it was finished was on the record. So, and then I got a lot of Sabbath rehearsal tapes. Then I got stuff that we recorded, like the step we were going to do, like especially with Heaven and Hell. We're going to do this many songs. So we went through all the songs. I got tapes of that too. But it's all cassette tapes. I think, you know, they sound okay, but not really the sound you're looking for. It's the moment you listening to that gun.
yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah.
pretty cool. Like these guys are rehearsing like regular guys. You know, you hear
Yeah,
Ronnie sing something and then he doesn't sing and then he sings and that's pretty cool stuff.
yeah.
I
That,
tried to started to put them on the computer so they don't go bad, you know. But
yeah.
actually, they're over there. Box of cassettes says Dio on them.
I want to hear them so
I
badly.
always ran the I always ran the tape machine
Yeah,
when we started writing for Mob Rules. We had a tape machine, cassette tape. I'd record everything. And those tapes, I don't know where the hell those are. I haven't come across those tapes.
well, I was just gonna ask you that. How much of that stuff do you have?
That stuff I haven't come across. It might be buried somewhere in some box. But I always like when we were playing in the room when there was a good jam going on or something, it hit record, you know, or a riff happened, hit record, and then eventually we put songs together, and I kept the tapes. You know, I might have given him the Tony here and there so he can work on them, and I don't know. I got to look for those.
Yeah,
And then it happened in DO too. I had the tapes. You know, same thing. I was the tape master. You know.
yeah. Real quick before you go, the last question that I have is about I'm a drummer myself, so I
Oh yeah.
love your style of playing.
Thanks.
So who were some influences on you?
When I grew up, you know, like before Led Zeppelin, it was like Buddy Rich. Buddy Rich used to be on the Johnny Carson show, and that went on every night at 11:30 p.m. And when I saw they had a thing called the TV Guide, everybody got and all the TV listings, even though there were only like 5 or 6 channels. Buddy Rich is on tonight, so my mother would let me stay up late to watch Buddy Rich, and so Buddy Rich, and then a little while after, my brother obviously was a great influence. Then Bonham, John Bonham, Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix, Billy Cobham, just all amazing drummers. And those guys were all lead drummers. And by that, I mean they didn't just play the 2/4 stuff. They played and pushed the band and played fills and
Yeah.
creative with their stuff. So I wanted to do that. That's the way to play, man.
Yeah.
That's why when you hear stuff I'm on, I don't play it just to be busy, but I play a lot of different fills, but they're from my soul. They're inspired. And with Dio and Ronnie never said, "Hey, you're playing over my vocal line." He never said that. And if you listen to it, even on Jericho, you hear Andy singing, and I'm playing a fucking fill in the middle of a bar. It just comes out.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. So that's I usually say I play fills where no man plays fills before, like Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah, your fills are like in the like become the actual song. Like when I'm playing, for example, if I'm playing Straight Through the Heart, I mean like there's
Yeah.
fills all through that song. It's just
Oh
amazing.
yeah. And the beginning fill, everybody goes, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And what those are replacement triplets. And I had a big drum set. So what we did was we recorded it going from the high tom to the low tom. Then I said, let's overdub the same fill going from the low tom to the high tom. So there's a double of the fill. And
Yeah.
then we panned it like this. So it's like an effect. And it came out so well, and it was strong for an intro. And you can't figure out what's going on. Like, what is that? So it was a cool thing. But
Yeah, I never knew that. That's amazing.
I start a lot of songs. I think I start this album too. There's some whacked out fill in the beginning of Jericho. Some wacky shit. I actually I'd have to listen to it to reproduce it. It was one of these things where I just fucked around and I don't even know what I played. And then it's on the record. Crazy.
One last question before you have to go, because I know you have to go, but stuff pops into my head and I have to ask it real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah.
I noticed that you hold your sticks backwards. Um,
Yeah.
why is that? Is it to get a heavier
It's a butt
sound on
end.
the drummed,
The
or
butt end.
is it something
Well,
else?
it's because the other side with the bead, that's for girls. That's what I say when I do a clinic. And they go, "How come you play like this?" And I say, "It's for girls." And they all crack up laughing. Obviously, it's not for girls. There's some amazing female drummers. And I just started this when I was really young. I don't know why. The butt end really appealed to me. And you get a fatter sound. There's
Yeah.
more wood. You got more wood hitting the drum than this guy on this side. And I'm trying this tape out. I don't know if I like it or not. This is this stuff here. This called drummer fucking, I don't know, this stuff. And so this gave me a bigger sound. Now the thing with playing like this is more wood to move,
Mhm.
you know. you gotta move more wood than this, because this is tapered on this side, and there's a little bead, and so this is a different sound and a little bit easier to move along fast. This you gotta put some effort into it, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I did it as a kid, and I kept stayed with it, and I always played that way.
Yeah,
So
it just kind of
definitely
just
better
kind of
better
stuck.
sound for me. I like it.
Yeah,
So,
and I think your hands, I mean, at least for me, I've tried to play with the butt end of the stick, and it's like it feels different in your hands, and it's like you
yeah.
can't.
Well, with this way, with the butt end, when you grab it this way, this leaves a little bit of pivot room here when I'm playing. Could move around more, you know. This way is it moves around, but there's not as much room. I don't know. So this gives it a pivot, but this gives it a different sound, a little bit different sound, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
bigger the better.
yeah, yeah, and also I would think if you're playing it with that end, you're not breaking as much sticks because there's more wood on that side.
Yeah.
All
So all
right,
right, I got
Vinny.
to run anyway. So
Vinny, I thank you for your time. Everyone go. I'll leave all the links in the description.
yeah.
Jericho's out March 31st. Look for live shows from Last in Line, you said in September.
Right. And
And
also, I do a live. I forgot, but I do a live stream every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Vinny Appice official, and I do it live from here. And I play the songs, couple songs, then I'll do a little soloing, and I'll talk and teach a couple of things. It's fun. I tell stories, and so it's every Tuesday at 4 p.m. And then we do questions. People that are online. I have my girlfriend, La La Lollipop's her name, and she reads the questions. People know her as La La, and she reads the questions. Hey, this guy wants to know, why do you hold the stick the other way, and different things like that. So
yeah,
it's really cool. Vinny Appice official Facebook.
yeah. I wanted to ask you about that, but I completely forgot. Thanks for
Yeah,
bringing
yeah,
it up.
yeah. I'll plug it. Plug it, plug it. I love doing it. It's fun, a lot of fun. But I can't play Black Sabbath and Dio songs because there's a copyright
Oh yeah,
problem.
because there's a copyright problem. Yeah,
Go figure that out.
yeah.
Stupid, stupid. I'm on the songs, so it's co-wrote some of the songs, and I can't play them. Stupid.
Well, I thank everyone for watching, and
Yeah.
while you're down
Is
there in
this
the
live?
no, I was just
You're gonna re-tape it and put it on, right?
yep. Don't forget to
Okay.
subscribe, and I thank you everyone for watching.